Hello? 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 Anybody there? Mike, what's up, man? Popzilla, what is happening? Steve George, what's up, dudes? Yeah, 9:30 seems like an appropriate time for this show and the Sunday if it continues.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Excuse me, please?
No need to apologize.
Siri, go away. Siri, please go away. I'm being invaded by extraterrestrials at the moment via my computer. Siri, turn off. What? Did you guys hear that? I'm getting talked to. Special guest tonight on the show is AI robots. Yeah, please leave. Thank you. RC Air Marshal, dude, Anonymous. What is up, man? Let everybody know. Dude. Good to see you, man. I hope you're well. Dad, Mike Bird, RC Air Marshal, Paul McNeil, Mike SSI, RC Fuzz. Yeah, I don't know. It must have misinterpreted what I had said and thought I was talking to her. I didn't even know I had that on my machine. So anyway, what are you guys working on? That's what I want to know. And I'll tell you what I'm doing. Fred, what up, man? Busy. That's good. Busy's good. I get over it from time to time, but busy's good. So this is all. I haven't really been flying, Marshall. So this is it, bro. I'm not in the loop anymore. Although the irony of that is really special. But all good. So a lot of you guys are coming in all the time, and you'll know that I was printing, still am printing. I moved my machine over by the window, by the way, and rigged up an exhaust system for now. But I got to set it up every time I want to use it. So I haven't finished printing off the big F86 body I'm doing. I'm close, but I'm also disheartened and disillusioned. And usually that's the case with everyday life, not necessarily my RC life. However, I'm super bummed about my prints I'm getting right lately. And I never had this happen to me using PLA. But ASA and ABS, I've experienced more warping and splitting and cracking with this ASA and ABS BS. So I'm kind of bummed about it. It's like I feel like I could break this, hours in, and I'm like, I don't like the finish. I don't like the warp. It's going to be a ton of work for me. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to glue these up to what I've already got started. So I've played around with the supports and things like that. to a degree, but apparently not enough. So, I mean, I expect to do some finish work, but it's starting to be yikes on some of it. Air Marshal, that's cool though. I mean, you know, it's how there's a switch that happens to be flipped sometimes when you sign on for the influencer part of this. So I don't blame you at all. Right on. I'm mad at you. I've been building crawlers, like custom ones, like nuts, and 3D printing bodies. I never thought I'd be doing that. I started the Thursday show because the trucks is actually what I've been doing. Been through hell with a hobby shop and the business of RC. Just, but I like it, you know. But it's changed for me. The pressure, you know how hard it was to get stuff done, but I needed that pressure of those unreleased projects to do it. Well, guess what? No more pressure. So, guess what also else? Not much video. So, take it or leave it. I had a really nice comment last week after I did a Sunday show. Dude's like, why? What a waste of time. Why bother? Real nice. I'm being funny. It hurt my feelings. The comment. Under pressure. So anyway, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm talking about. So I am not happy with the prints right now on this styrene stuff, ABS and ASA. I ordered some filament on the 23rd. That hasn't shipped. I'm like, come on, man. So I don't even know. Do I want to just the filament will do the bigger prints way better. The only problem I ever had with the PLA that I like was bed adhesion, and that was my fault. Because I wasn't using anything on it. And if I didn't set a brim on it, you know what I mean? So thank you, RC Fuzz. Yeah, I'm waiting on some filaments to come. I ordered 3 rolls, which will finish the big job. Plus a little. So yeah, I got to order some more. So I don't know, man. I'm not so positive. And Kelly's prints are coming off looking really good, but I have so much warpage on this. I'm just concerned about my finish work and how well it's going to stay together. But we may glue this piece on anyway. And then I was talking about the other day, I know I've mentioned it before. I was going to run the brushed motor on this. What's up, Jay Woody? I was going to run the brushed motor, but the closer I get, and I've done some things to get this a little closer to being mounted. The closer I get to this, the more I realize I do not have room for an ESC in here. So I am going to do the 2-in-1 unit because everything has to be in here. Battery, 2-in-1 motor, receiver, servo, it's all in there because I'm not going to take everything apart to load up batteries on this. Yeah. maybe in the future I make a door I can take off or something to do that on some of these, but this is getting very close though. I did put some little shocks on it. Can you see them peeking through there? Right there over the wheel. See a little shock. Bro, I have an X1C. And I think it's because these are big prints. And it could be the way I'm orienting the print like this is giving me the problems. Maybe I need to do some weird things. But I've never done one as big as what I'm working on. The SCX6. I got an SCX6 version of this I'm working on. So we're going to change this motor out. Cooling, yeah, it could be. I have not been, I mean, I leave the door closed on the cabinet because I feel like I was supposed to, you know. Because of how hot that stuff has to be. And again, I wasn't really having any trouble with the PLA. But anyway, tonight we're gonna, and I'm sick of the smell, even though I got it vented pretty good. I'm tired of that. What's up, Michael Bear? So we're going to change this motor out is what we're going to do. Like I said, I wasn't going to, and then I'm like, you know what? I better. But it came to me in the middle of the night, finally, like a succubus. I have decided how I'm going to attach things. Yeah, I got these little tiny shocks on here. Little dampeners. Yeah, you know, man, I've been leaving it set in the cabinet when it's done to like slow cool. Because I didn't want it to cool off too fast. So that's that. See this aluminum, Marshall? Pepsi cans, brother. Pepsi cans. The Pepsi Man can. So let's do it. Let's put this motor on. We're putting on a Spectrum 2-in-1, which is a lot like a Hobby Wing. Nice, Carter. So this is not too hard to do. I've done a handful of these. And we're just going to get after it. Yeah, I did rig up a pretty decent vent deal where I don't have to freeze the room out now to do it. Are these 1.5s? No. No. And yeah, like really, I kept on talking about how, yeah, you know what, trail truck, let me just leave the brushed stuff in it. And I think that made sense until I started really getting it done in my head and realizing, wait a minute, I don't have the room for the ESC. Hit him with 250, see if he bites. The bottom. I really like these FMS transmissions though, for the footprint in the body. It's like so cool. So these have a handful of gears inside that can stay put together. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger. Then we've got another section in here. The transmission in the Toyota is different than what we've been getting in these Jimneys, but it's still very compact. I've got 2 batteries through that thing now, and just in front of the house. It's pretty slick. I was messing with the dip switches for the on the remote, trying to play with the drag brake a little bit. Just a little bit of grease in here to work around. Most of these screws are all the same size, except for the 2 big ones. And then here's this gear section. And you've got your pinion, and you've got this big gear here that goes on this shaft. It's sandwiched, you know, pretty interesting. And I'm to the pinion now. One more little piece of plastic case to take off. Yeah, the Carbon Z T28 is fantastic. And then these little shorty dudes right there. Messing up my desk. And I had a 1.5 MIP, but I broke it. Suspension, that plane deserves that too, man, without a doubt. This is the first one I've really taken apart that I noticed grease inside of. There's the pinion. Liberated. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I don't want to have to cram an ESC in there too. So I'm not gonna. It is nice having this around though for yeah, boss. Everybody wants to know what gear you use. It looks like yep, the 1.7 Mustang gear is the stuff. This was all the way down. And the big A10 nose gear. Yep. Let's see. How far is that? Yeah, magnets sticking so much stuff together. Cool. You guys have a good Christmas. I haven't seen you. What'd you guys get? Let me know in the comments. What's up, Jason? Greasy. Greasy or greasy? Which one is it? I think you should say greasy with a Z. Hopefully that lines up good, but we'll know in a minute. Yeah, I put my new Toyota under the tree, even though I had opened it. And ran it already. Greasy. It is an oil slick. It is. It is. So now all we got to do is make sure this gear falls out when I mess with it. Oh, I did this before where I'm an idiot. And put the pinion on before it was ready. I should have known better. I should have known. There it goes. Perfect. Sweet. We're getting it. Might need to moderate Marshall, he says. You know why? Because I said. Because I said so. Jeff from Lower Alabama in the house. Sounds pretty crunchy at the moment. But it won't be. There. Perfect. It's all set. Awesome. RC Fuzz wants to know if anybody's from St. Louis. Where are you guys all checking in from? Dead Stick in the house. Bobby K. Marshall's in here, brother. raising a ruckus. FMS transmission, Spectrum 2-in-1. 2 Pedals, Minnesota. Yeah, Marshall's in here, dude. I can feel the heat coming off the street. She likes to party. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't going to do it, but man, this made sense. I need the space. I do. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the slipper too while I have it here, because I'll be sorry if I don't. I already know. I already know. Hold it still. Jump on one foot. That's loose, dumbass. Righty-tighty, fool. That should be sufficient. I am changing the, getting rid of the FMS brushed motor because I don't want to take up. If I use this, I got to have an ESC. If I use this, all I need is a receiver. And the room I have to work with in this dude is very limited. It's all got to be up in the front. We'll just put the motor on and I'll show you. It's like 2 bolts. Azir, what's up, man? Hey. So yeah, just I wasn't gonna do this, and then I started getting this really dialed in, where it's like mount the chassis to the body stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna have. That's the wrong driver, dude. I'm not gonna have the room for an ESC in here. Like a 2200 battery is almost too big for what I'm doing. I've been running 1300s and stuff in these custom crawlers I've been making, because I lose all my space. No, don't tell me that can's too long. It's not. Two and a half. Yeah, but at least it's in the front. Like the transfer case here on these leaf sprung FMS jobs, I like it because it's it makes sense. It's like where the seat would be. Actually, it is completely hidden by the seat on this job. I'll show you. Yeah, so now everything's where it needs to be. No ESC required for this job. Yeah, the bench seat completely hides the transfer case, which is cool. It is in a scale location. Yeah, I like that. And then, yeah, and this is really all the room I have is right up in there. I still got to cram a servo in it and then the battery and receiver. I can get the receiver somewhere else if I have to, but it'll fit in here. And that's all the room I have on these scale jobs. What's up, Know Your Joe? So yeah, that's why I'm going for the 2-in-1. I got lots of room to put junk in the trunk of this thing, and you'll never see it because it's a panel truck, except a little bit of back window action. Spectrum looking solid. Just a little bit more work to do on the linkage. I have to do some things to the steering link to change the geometry to make it less severe. And this dude is very, very close. I've got to screw up through the chassis into the yeah, dude, I've YouTube Premium. I love it. No ads. I still have it from when we had the shop. I had it so I could play YouTube on the TV without ads. Yeah, ads. Unless you're watching my videos and you're getting ads, then it's cool. I haven't looked at what movies are available with premium either. Man, it's hitting hot. So yeah, it's mountain chassis up kind of stuff right now. But I don't think I'm going to do that in front of you guys because it's going to take some serious thinking. I got it squared up just right, man. I got some ideas of how I want to mount this and key in at the front. I have to invent what I want to do to it's going to be easy to mount the floor to the chassis. And I got a way devised to mount the front of this body to the front. But I'm going to have I've got some stuff I got to do. I'm going to make a cross member on the bottom of this body. And then whatever I've got will go through this and pin it in. So when I screw the chassis when I screw the floor to the chassis, because the body's connected to the floor, it will stay. And in the front, same, little different, but it's going to hold. I have a couple drivers for this one. I could use. I'm thinking about busting out Richard Dreyfuss. I'm not exactly sure yet. but I'm thinking about Richard being in here. Kenny, what up, man? If I do Dreyfus, the seat scoots back a little, but it's not too bad. We'll see what he looks like in there. But yeah, you can see how the motor's angled up a little bit. I did a lot of relief work on the mount for that transmission to alleviate the stress on that short shaft to the transfer case. And if I don't use Dreyfus, then I'll use Scale Builder Guild file again. He's not bad in there. I think he just got out of whack a little bit. He's almost too big, though. Like his head's up in the roof. You know what I'm saying? So I can shorten the seat and make it that a little better. But that is that for now on this dude. Let's see if I can't sit him up better. Make him straddle this thing. I don't want to cut him up because he works so good in other stuff. But he's part of why this doesn't want to go on right now, because he sits a little tall. A little proud, Richard is. So yeah. I need one. A little one. Kelly's got one. He's kind of big. But there. Yeah, and it's spaced out just right. I do have some things to pin it in laterally up here, and I just got to do this tongue and groove thing I'm going to make. And then those base camp kits, I got a ton of those body posts, so I got a lot of opportunities to make things work on the body and floor. And one thing too, the chassis itself has all kinds of holes. So I'm going to easily be able to bolt the floor to the chassis. So pretty good. I like it. And like I said, I just put those little shocks on there, which, I mean, it's already leaf sprung and super scale, so it's okay. I don't have major articulation. I probably take those shocks off because they actually work like bump stops. But there's more room to go than the shocks let me have. So I went through a lot of trouble to put them on. What's up, Doyle? I went through a lot of trouble to put them on, but they're probably not going to stay. But I want to try it with them. And I don't think you guys saw this yet last week, did you? The FMS truck. I play with magnets a little bit. I really like the hard mount, though. I've used them here and there. Like, I will use magnets for the hood, which will also help hold the body down, too, depending on where I mount them. If I mount them on the body or if they're part of the chassis. I could go either way, because I don't really – you need real scale hinges to be able to work these out. Or you're going to see hinges on the outside of it where you wouldn't have them on this. So I don't want that. So just like on the Willys wagon, I didn't hinge that. It's magneted down, and it helps hold the whole body down also to the chassis, my lass. Mostly car stuff after years of doing planes. Just got the Red Cat Valkyrie, and it's pretty sweet. Nice. Nice, Jayhawk. Magnets. I'm down to like 1 or 2 of these. Sometimes not at all. A day. So I did think I was going to maybe pull out my Phoenix. Oh, I want to show you this Toyota, though. I don't think you guys saw it since if you did, it was still in right out of the box form. This thing is dope. I had a ton of Toyota stickers left over from the FJ55 kit build. And so these graphics on the side, a lot of the stickers on the windows, the 4, and some Land Cruiser emblems were leftover items I had. Same with the Toyota branding across the top. This has been really nice. Super cush suspension. I really like the shocks, man. And it's a clipless body design. Brushed, but the radio is a 6-channel situation. It's good. Lights. I unplugged the turn signals, but I really like this. It's very quiet and very smooth. Just trying to figure out the drag brake stuff a little bit. There is a little bit of play, which you can't work that out unless you changed gearing and axles and stuff like that. Somewhere in there, it's probably the diffs. Might be shimmable, but why mess with a really good thing? I like it a lot. Yeah, I got a couple batteries through it just here in the front. I got a big burly bumper that I can put on it, which looks good, but I'm digging this, the way it looks. We could try the bigger bumper. I did try the rock rails that I got too with it, but I'd have to space them up to use it. They hang down a little too low without spacing it up. So I'm like, you know what? Let me keep it like this for now. Anyway, metal beadlocks, the Fair RC version anyway, has got these metal Barazi or whatever their brand is of upgrades. Some of that's already on here. This thing does really good. And it looks a lot like a TRX4 inside. The lights are, you don't have to plug in any wires. It's a magnetic switch. So there's like 3 magnets. The wheels and tires came on this. This is stock. There's the interior. It's pretty dope. You can see it. You can see the magnets. And it's almost like a little junction box. Looks like a receiver back there by the magnets where you've got the lights plugged in. And there's even a couple more spots on that junction box, for lack of a better term. Labeled really nice. The wiring for the lights looks killer. Really nice. Oh yeah, Jayhawk. There's a lot of scale stuff with opening doors and things like that. Even the FMS Michigan and FJ40 has opening doors and everything. Yeah, the inner fenders are super nice. And this is the mechanism. You can see when I turn, look at this, the cam, like a door on it, like a deadbolt. So when you turn them, see they went away. So your body keys into this little slot and then clicks them around over those. And that's on the front and the back, both the same. You see those little cams turn in and then like a spring fit right there. RC Modified, what's up, man? But yeah, little 32 turn brushed motor on this. The transmission super compact, very much like it is on the Jimny and the FJ and stuff. But there is more to it. And this is a 2-speed truck. So right there on the radio, yeah, the FMS trucks are not bad, Jayhawk. There's a link to FMS in the description of this video as well, if you want to support the channel that way. But I've done some, check out the RC truck playlist. You've seen the FJ40 has made an appearance many times. And I did the leaf spring upgrade to the Mashkin and the FJ40, which makes them perfect trucks for towing a trailer. Because these coilovers, if you hang something on the back, it definitely really sags them out. But when I use my leaf spring trucks to do that, no sweat. And what's cool about this is a 2-in-1 ESC receiver unit. Again, the radio is like a 6-channel radio ready to run. And the XT60 it comes with, you can shoehorn an IC3 in it. So that's kind of nice. 2S or 3S, chassis mounted servo, straight axle. This thing's my jam, dude. I think we're going out of town to crawl Saturday early. Where is it? Logansport or something? It's farther than I want to go. But I'm going. And this is coming on the ready to run stock everything. I may do wheels and tires like I always do. I kind of like Patagonias. I've been digging on the BFGs lately a lot, though, as well. But the BFGs I have are the 419s, not the 475s. So they don't look right on here. They're too small for it. It'd probably be okay. But these just look too good. Regular 475 size. Looks too good on here. I haven't messed with a preload, nothing on this. There's a little bit of preload on it. So if I did put smaller tires on it, I could drop it so it wouldn't look too crazy. How do you set sag and crawler? Oh, you play with the suspension. Or you go to extreme efforts like I do to get the body low. The FMS Jimny, there's 2 of them. There's the green one, and then there's the 6-scale one. The 6-scale one, it looks like a Jeep, but it's a Suzuki. And it comes with the leaf springs on it already. They're just on the wrong side of the axles, if you ask me. So I always flip them and get a little ride height out of them. And I've built 5 or 6 of those Jimny chassis now for custom builds. And I like them. Best kept secret in scale RC without spending a ton of money on a big money chassis. Spring, shock oil, preload, where you put the shocks, like all kinds of things. The size of the shocks. You know what? Let's go ahead and try that big burly bumper real quick while I'm making a mess out here real fast. Let's do it. Let's do it. And you can put light buckets on this big burly overland bumper too if you wanted to. Yeah, let's go ahead and see what this looks like on here. Yeah, I like it. What an awesome gift. And it's got a rack on it, man. It may end up getting a bunch of overland stuff on it because I don't normally do that. And a lot of times I take roof racks off. But that one, it's got all those killer lights on it. It looks so good. I'm leaving it alone, man. Who's playing tonight, Roy? And just remember, yep. Oh, I got to unscrew this to put on this. All right, Dan. Okay. Seattle and the Bears. Who's winning? Fred likes the Busch Guard bumpers on his. It comes with it as an option, which is cool. This truck is the stock FMS stuff. Now, a lot of the custom builds I've done have Spectrum gear in it or Hobby Wing fusion systems because it's super nice having the not having to cram an ESC into them. Seattle's up. You have to open up the screw hole to mount the light buckets on that bumper. Got it. I'm not going to worry about that until I have lights in here. What lights did you use, though, Fred? Let me know. I'm curious. Because I might have to do it. But this bumper definitely looks like it'll do the job of protecting the body. For show, as they say. You haven't added the lights yet? Okay. Just the buckets or what? I assume this goes all the way back. Like the other one. Like the stock one. Chiefs. That was a heck of a game, bro. There were some goofy penalty calls. Didn't matter, but man, they were goofy. Yeah, thanks, RC Modified. This is killer. Gift from one of my viewers, man. Can you believe it? I got a ton of rigs. And these keep getting better. Dude, a lot of my really nice 10 scale rigs are like $500 rigs or more if it's a kit. This thing, as nice as it is $3 bills, dude. It's most $300 rigs do not have rock rails, inner fenders. Definitely they don't have 2-speed or lights. Listen. Click. Isn't that sick? Ooh. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. That looks good. And you got room for a license plate up here. And it does have spots for more fog lights that the thing comes with. It doesn't come with it comes with the buckets for the fog lights, not lights. But these lights, stock, you get brake lights and running lights. And there's half of my front yard right there. Looks good. Look at that. I ain't mad at it. But I honestly, I didn't mind the super basic pedestrian bumper either. But this will do its job to protect the front end of the truck, though, which is cool because I intend to ask it to perform, to be honest with you. That's cool. Tires are nice and soft on this one. Sometimes you get ready to run tires where the compound sucks and the foams are too stiff. These are really, really going to wrap around and do a good job of grabbing things. I've been crawling it around on the snowy rocks out front of my joint, and it's been fine. Yeah, that looks good. Sick. Yeah, some little custom decal work. I do a lot of paint work on my trucks, but this one looks so stinking good already. That this is the way it's staying. Just added some decals. So the red version at Fair RC, if you want the gray, more classic Toyota sheen, check out my FMS link in the description. It's a good looking, good performing truck. And I will try to get a running video of it for y'all. But you got to watch them if I make it. So this place we're going is apparently pretty for real. And so my leaf spring trucks nobody's bringing their leafers. So that means that I'm probably going to bring the Toyota, which I just had a CJ7 for sure. Those two for sure. This one needs to get a good run on it. It's coilover. I know it's going to be top heavy, but I want to bring it. This has big BFGs on it, but they really belong on here. You know, I don't want to take them off to put them on something else. So this dude's probably coming. It's top heavy, but it's still coilover, and so it'll be all right. And I'm thinking about maybe bringing my FJ45 patinaed out Vanquish Phoenix kit build that's all spectrumed out. So everything that's coming, except for the Toyota, everything that's coming with me this weekend out of town is brushless. Where's the guy with the FMS, though, who has asking about the doors? The Michigan and the FJ40 have, this is leaf sprung. I should put some dampening shocks on. Oh, I got some. The stock ones I repurposed. Off of a Jimny, I think. So this is another FMS Butte, and this one has hood opens up. I put brushless in this, inner fenders, leaf springs, and the doors in the back and all that stuff open up. So There's Bob Ross trying to get out. Super scale, though. And this one, like I said, this one has pulled another crawler on a trailer more than it has just crawled on its own. But for being leaf sprung, I think the articulation on this has worked itself pretty good. And I did my trick to lower this because it set goofy too high, probably like this. And I did my thing to bring it down. But yeah, you can open the back up, kinds of things. This came with a big old overland rack on it as well. I took it off. Dude's got a bike in there and a couple sleeping bags. I intended on weathering this one up, but I like the yellow so much that I have not done any of that. So here's a sleeping bag. It's a bandana rolled up. There's another bedroll in here. Another bedroll. And then, yeah, Kelly printed me off the bike, which sits right up in there. And then the bedrolls help kind of hold things in a little bit as well. But yeah, this thing, corrugated floor, seats in the back. Let me show you the back better now. FJ40, I like me some Toyotas. Look at that. And I love these because I'm so familiar with them. So even though these came with coilovers and 4-link suspension, it's the same chassis as the Jimneys that I'm so used to working. So when I did the leaf spring mod to these, it was literally no big deal at all. I just added lights to some. Oh yeah, the golden nugget. So this does have lights, but you could add some more to the buckets on the back. And this thing has a plastic hitch ball. I do still need to do my weather stripping on this truck around some of the windows. The benches do fold up. Yeah, that is true. And what's neat about all these opening doors, unless you really jank it, they stay closed. But it's just a plastic hitch ball. And I've literally, like I said, I've pulled a trailer with this a ton. Leaf spring life. Whenever I get a chance, man, I do me some leaf springs. And the Michigan has the same treatment. The Michigan is a, what is it, a YJ? Yeah, I think it's a YJ. It's got square headlights, and it's pretty sick as well. I'll show it to you. FMS is killing it. Yeah, I mean, having doors and stuff that open up. And of course, this comes ready to run. And I messed with it a lot to make it, I think, amazing. I changed the servo. I'm pretty sure I changed the servo. Yep, I did. I put an Eco Power servo in there, inner fenders, different tires and rims, leaf springs, brushless motor. Yeah, I did some stuff on this one. And then I had some Toyota emblems too that I had to buy. These are real metal emblems there. And I bought these too, I'm pretty sure, at the same time. And then I cut out the hood like a real one. This was all yellow there, but it should be cut out. And then I added the diesel right there to it. and the handyman just screwed it on. Yeah, that Ridge Racer U4 does look cool, man. Bob Ross is just chilling with a gangsta lean right now. And I would say that this is in the 10th scale arena, but it's really pretty big. It's bigger than 10th scale, for sure. And this is the Michigan, which they call a Michigan because they don't want to call it a Jeep. But it's also big. The yellow one, when you click the link, yeah, that's that one. But you can see when you go to FMS through there, you can shop it more than just that one. That takes you there directly. But the Michigan, the Toyota, the FJ40, the Jimny. If you want something ready to go though, without doing a ton of mods right away, you cannot beat the Toyota LC80. It's dynamite. If you like the opening doors though and stuff like this Michigan, sometimes it's harder to find because they had some licensing trauma and drama. But the FJ40 comes in yellow or blue. But yeah, so this is, this is the same chassis situation. I think this one needs a lot of stickers too. I've decided this one needs some emblems and stickers. But yeah, this Jeep, I did the leaf spring treatment on it. Endura tires and rims. I kept the brushless motor and pretty sure the servo too, actually. But I did put a Spectrum 2-in-1 receiver unit in it. And what's cool about these two is you got these little, you can put these little bars up. Fred, you got another blue, you got a blue one? Another blue one? That's not bad at all. 250? No way. Voodoo RC for the 3D printed inner fender well and door cards and window trim on the FJ40. Yep. And that's what Fred had told me, and I bought it and put it in. It's a nice one as well. And yeah, it's got the interior, these doors open also. Super scale. And that's not fabric. It looks like it kind of, but it's not. The back will open up. And I'm sure it came with a spare tire on it that I took off. I'm afraid to open this up. I don't know if I've ever opened that up. All right, Doyle. See you, man. Yeah, I'm sure that opens up. It's hinged. Oh, I think he did already have the blue one. You know what? I don't know if I unstuck those. Do those open? I don't want to force it to. Yes. Yes. And then so does that. Look at that, dudes. I mean, have a picnic. Why don't you? But you put a spare tire on there, man. You do whatever you want with these. That's the first time I've opened the back on this one. Nice. And again, it comes with coilovers, but I did the leaf spring deal because I'm nuts. I'm nuts. But these have been holding up really good. And some people will act like, yeah, you know, I mean, the FMS stuff is getting better, but some folks will act like the FJ40 and that this thing are not all that. Like I said, the FJ40 has got a lot of batteries through it, pulling another crawler behind it on a trailer. If that's not a testament to its toughness, I don't know what is. And this one could be a trailer puller too. I just got to get a hitch on it. But it's got a receiver for it. It's got a receiver for it. Super sick. And this dude, I got to fix a D-ring. So I may do a little bit of D-ring work right now real quick. This thing's dynamite as well. And I broke a D-ring, so I'm thinking I might fix one. Oh, nice. I got some, I raced two-wheel drive buggy and short course and outside 8th scale truggy, which is a blast. I haven't raced much this winter yet, but that's when I'm an airplane guy, really. And then I started bashing, and then I got sick of fixing the basher, so I started crawling, and it's been doing this ever since. Got into the crawlers. Let's see about these D-rings real quick. How much mess that's going to be. Looks like a 1.5er to me. And I was clowning around and broke a D-ring. It's my fault. Dude, I'm using the same bolts, so I don't have to drill holes out. That'll work. I think I can. What's funny that Fred's got 2 blue ones? What do you want to see, RC Modified? Tell me. I broke this D-ring being a dumb face. What hasn't Fred got? Yeah, right? Learn it by watching you, all right? And instead of having to retap this hole to fit these big dogs in, which I don't think they would fit. I do want to check though real quick. You just got the quick release mounts? Nice. Performance-wise though, this CJ and my Phoenix are probably my best performers. I just already know this hole's not going to be big enough. Yeah, I don't really want to retap it this minute. But man, if I do, it would look more scale even. What do you have? One of the ready to runs spectrums, buggies, truggies? I didn't have any trouble with it. Have you recalibrated ESC stuff like that? You know what? I think I can get this in. They look so good with it on there. Where is my straight pin wrench? Yeah, why not? I'll put these fancy metal bits in here. They fit, so we're doing it. Yeah, dude. Why not? I'll go ahead and put that in there. It went in, so I'll do it. Those D-rings come with these square plates for them. But I've already got the half that job is done already, you know what I'm saying? So we'll go ahead and do it. It's just a little oversized, but I think I can. I think I can. I got the other one in. Straight pin for the win on the driver here. Yeah, dude, this guy, the steering wheel moves and so does the driver. Check my Instagram out. You can see it. I did a lot to this one out of the box to make it a little better too. Yeah, the Axial CJ7 is pretty dope. There's a red one and a gray one, but they're $5. I'll never use them, but I got them. D-rings. Fred's got the red and the gray one. There you go. Scale hardware too on those D-rings now. That's cool. I just could not abide having a broken one. They were black before. Didn't really notice them, but now you can. And bro, while I'm at it, I'm nobody's fool. I should put some, just a drop of something on there. It's not going anywhere now. And then my straight pin goes back in my bottle. It's my lid. Yeah, and so this was the CJ7 printed files from Night Custom. So I've got a full depth interior in there now. Big job. Hid the shock towers with the cooler and the tactical box. And yeah, the driver's hands move with the steering wheel and his head turns. And I took off the 3D printed head and put on a spare Richard Dreyfuss Jaws head that I had. Mountain RC, what up? Seattle wins 6-3. Man, that sounds like a nothing but defense kind of game. So yeah, Homeboy with dual stage foams, brass rings on the front, Patagonias. That thing's going this weekend. Yeah, thanks. I grabbed those red D rings when I was buying junk on Amazon the other day. So, because I knew I had a broken one and I can't stand that. Bozaya, what up? So, man, we've been rolling at 22 deep this whole time. We're an hour and a half in, half hour left maximum. I'm trying to think what little things I can work on to get ready for the weekend. I got batteries to charge, but the only thing I really need to do is put the FJ45 on a different radio. Actually, I don't have to. But if I don't, I'm bringing 3 radios. So we'll see. Yeah, man, having a ball. Having an absolute ball. The other rig, you said it was a Toyota or something like that? Yeah, this red one on the bottom is a Toyota LC80. It's new from FMS. 4-link. If you don't want to work on one out of the box to make it what you've seen here, like I said, I haven't done anything that Toyota except cut some stickers and change the bumper, which it came with. That's a really good choice. And for $3 you get a lot of truck. Like I said, dude, you get 2 speeds, inner fenders, lights, things that you don't usually get for $3. So what else? I need to mount that. That Travelall's close. My Willie's wagon has a articulated driver in it too. Nice. Bosiah is new to the whole RC crawling thing, and oh my god, it's fun. I only bought a WPL C14, and I've just been slowly doing little custom things to it. Too scared to get into motor servos and ESCs yet. I don't even know. Then don't feel rushed to do any of it. Rocket. A lot of these are good as they come. once you get in, I mean, when I first was doing it, I didn't do any bead locks. I didn't do any mods to them at all, and just left them alone and had a ball. And then eventually I got where I knew what I was missing because I'd driven brushless motors and things like that. And so certain rigs I have up here have brushless, and some of them still have brushed motors in them. This early Bronco, which deserves everything, is still on the brushed motor and just regular, nothing, ready to run servo. A good drift car. What do you guys think? I mean, to be honest, I haven't had a chance to play with one yet, but I think that Traxxas one is killer out of the box, ready to go. If you want to build a kit, yeah, MST's got some cool stuff. It's starting to be a little bit more popular. You can get a street car though. I had the little Losi truck. What was it? LC10 or something. And it's just a street truck with a brushed motor, nothing fancy. But I put drift tires on it, and it was a beast. And I know A-Main had some, I think they were HPI ready to run drift cars that were also pretty affordable and not bad at all. But really, if you put drift tires on something, you can get it to drift. Losi V100. Is that what that was? That truck? Did I give you that? You buy it? I don't remember. But I put drift tires on it, and it was cool. That was a Vitara V1. Oh, it was a Vitara V100. Became the Losi C10. Is that what it is? That thing drifts nice. You know? But like, if you didn't want to mess with it out of the box, the Traxxas one's probably awesome. But again, usually they're a little bit smaller too than like a regular 10th scale. They seem to be more like 12th, 11th, a little bit smaller than a regular street car. So you got to think about that, or you'll have something with tires that look way too small. One reason I'm reluctant to radio up that FJ45 is because I know it's got 2 overdrives and a dig on it, and I'm not sure I want to mess with it. My 5C will be fine as long as I can get it to that model before I leave. The scroll wheel's starting to be goofy. So there's that. There's that. And like, yeah, I'm really happy with this crawler thing I'm doing, but building a drift kit would be cool. It would be. I really like the crawlers, man. And I mean, I can bash, not bad. And I can race, not bad. For a guy who doesn't do it a lot. But I really like the crawlers. And I think it's because I enjoy working on them too. They are really miniatures of the big ones. I watch a lot of channels on full scale trail trucks and crawlers, and so it really is a lot of the same. It's just little. Just little. Just little. Well, thanks for coming by, you guys. Dude, Kelly's got his blazer done on the SCX6 monster. He's done, and he's already printed another body for it. we did those Land Rover 3D prints and we built them and put them on base camps. He printed a big one for his SCX6. So he's got 2 bodies, besides 3 if you count the honcho body it came with for his SCX6. Looks killer. I'm a little bit curious to see how it takes a dump. Like, with the big heavy truck like a 6, how's it take it? You know? How's it take it? I got some plastic weld, like this filler stuff that I wanted to try. I'm going to have to try on my SCX6 build because I've got so many gaps from the stupid print that I'm going to have a lot of finish work to do. Dad, thanks for that super chat. You're very welcome too for the show. Thanks. Yeah, so I got to glue this piece on and print a few more pieces on this big dude. And I'll be trying to solve the problem of how to put that body on chassis. And I thought I would just recycle the floor from the Wrangler and not print a floor for my SCX6. Try to keep it simple and as light as I can. Sweet, John. I'll check that out. Yeah, Kelly's Blazer, dude. So good. He posted a, oh, wow, man, you slammed it. That looks good. So that's a low C street truck. Used to be mine that he slammed it and it's still a drifter. Let me find you a picture of Kelly, Fred. He sent me one, or I saw one on Facebook, something. Bro. I'll send it to you, Fred. It looks pretty good. It looks really good. I almost think the Blazer's easier. A lowrider old school truck, that would be the way to do the Sanford and Son deal, dude. Is to, that way I don't have to cut up the arches to make it fit. So just slam it. Leave it on one of those low chimneys and don't do the axle flip. That would actually be a good idea. Yeah, Fred, I'll send you these right now. Dude. There's one more, him holding it. Let me get it. I must have been on Facebook. I saw it. There it is. Dude, look how big. Oh, man, it does not show up the same. Let me copy this, send it to Fred. It looks so good, bro. Oh, man. There we go. Looks so tight. And the way he's doing the ride height, he's not having to mess with the arches. But the extra little there's the arch, and then there's a little molded in detail above it that matches the arch. If he had to, he could and maintain the line. I had to cut the arch up on the rear of this thing, but it matched perfectly because there's a dimension to it. So there was like the bottom of the original arch, and then the top of it, there's like a line. And is easy for me to make that work. And just like with these blazers, you can make that work too. I think the blazer is easier to print off, is why I would almost consider it as being a better project for a SCX6. And I was going to do one, but I didn't have files yet. So I printed what I had. Let's bring my big dog up here real quick. Why not? It doesn't look near as good as Kelly's at the moment. Dude, it's huge. So big. And it's a lot of body. It is a lot of body, but man, so many cracks and junk in it. But I know I can make it work. I'm just pissed about what I can tell I'm going to have to do so much. But that's all right. I'm trying to decide what I bought for the filler is sandable plastic whatever. There it is. I haven't used any yet because I just know it's going to stink. Plastic bonder, and it's supposed to be sandable. Set time 15 minutes, sand in 30, dries tan. So this, I hope, acts like Bondo, but I'm gonna have a lot to do to this. But yeah, this is the rest of this slice right here. And even as bad as it is, it still matches up pretty good where I need it to. And I'm a master gluer. But yeah, I'm going to have a lot of reinforcement underneath the body to back all these seams. An airframe. I've maybe. I'm good with these. I like my planes being ready to go. Just build them. There's nothing but looking at them that's scale. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can see the multiple colors here. A little bit indicate the different prints. And that just a small little section cracked on me and warped a ton. I know I can make it look good. I mean, the red one here wasn't perfect. But this front chunk, the red, is PLA, and it was flawless. I didn't get into any warping and weirdness until I got into those other materials. And there's some warp warp, warp, warp. Even the real nice line of this molding here, you can see it takes a weird, funny dip. I mean, I'm going to be building up a bunch to make this work. But I mean, that's my thing, dude. I make them smooth. And part of making them smooth is all that patina stuff too. So I'll fill and paint and paint and paint and fill and sand and grind. And I mean, I'll end up having this one. I'll be using a Porter cable to buff this one out and then start painting it. And then at that point, like wet sanding a little bit. The whole goal will be to hide all the work, the seams and junk. And then cover it up. You know, that red one had some seams, but I was able to work them out, you know. Thanks, Fred. Hopefully it'll start moving. I ordered it on the 23rd. But if I use that piece, which I, at this point, might as well, then I only have 1, 2, 3. After that one, I've only got 3 more big chunks to print. And then I've got bumpers and stuff like that. Azir, see you later, man. But yeah, this one's going on the big old SCX6. And I've started cutting a little bit on it. You can see here to make room for the shock. And I've cut half of the, I need to cut the rest of this. But see this little gray here? Remember the other night when I ran out of stuff? This front yellow section and the gray is one print. So I went from ABS to ASA and it actually stuck to itself pretty good. But when I tried PLA to any of the others, it didn't really work. But that was a result of a few things. Temperature, not being able to really change it in the software, and also the types of supports I was using at the time. So yeah, I thought I'd pump the brakes on this for a minute. I moved the printer. You don't see it behind me because I moved it by the window and rigged up a way to shut the window. I am going to tape the inside of the warps, or the outside. I thought about taping the outside of them because I feel like I can get it like under flush or right there at flush. Depends how I decide to tape it. And I thought about filling from the bottom out. Also, I thought about doing it the way you said first, it backing it on the inside and then filling from the top. But it's like, if I do it the way I'm thinking, like business cards and tape, I think I can get a really nice joint on the outside. And then, so what if I'm messy in here? It's going to be way less finish work. So I will try, Fred. Yeah, I'm going to try both and do whatever is necessary. But I'm going to try the inside first because I'm thinking I can tape that pretty good to fill it up. And then if it is sandable, it's okay if it's bulged a little bit, but it'll maybe avoid a whole lot of, it is a seam. So filing and grinding and sanding on the outside is going to be necessary anyway. But you know how it is. If the material I'm patching with is harder than this material, working the business out of the material will over sand, over dig out the stuff I'm trying to keep. So I'm going to try both. I will probably try it from the inside to the out first. But I do know I'm going to have some basic I mean, this one is bad. There's a line in it, and it warped and came in. I could always, if I break this one off and reprint it, and part of it's going to be, I'll print the other half of this back end with PLA. The other half of this. If it's stellar, I may break this off and print another back end on PLA, because I really would love this to mate up good here. You know? So, yeah, this is a monster, dude. I mean, the hood itself is going to be a 2 printer. You know? Could you use a small hot glue gun and push your filament through it? Depends on how hot the hot glue gun gets. The one nice thing about the filament is you do know what temps it likes, but there's a point where you're burning it. So it's all so perfect through the machine. And if these weren't such big prints, I think I could have avoided the warping. And if I drew on my own supports better or at all, I think I could have maybe avoided some warping too. But these big kind of, I call them a fence, when it prints like this, I think the opportunity for warping is it's there. I think I'd be better off printing it like this, to be honest. But when I do this, it's because I'm trying to not use a lot of supports. There were no supports to this except for the window portion. You know? And yeah, this one printed like this. And only the window needed supports. And then I brimmed it. So I basically put a 20 millimeter foot on it to try to help hold it down to the bed as well. But it's looking all right. I did have to play with the wheelbase just a little bit. It's 1/6 scale. It's the SCX6. I did stretch out the wheelbase just a little bit with the links. But this isn't as heavy as you think it is. It's like a wafer in there. We got a couple minutes. I'll show it to you on the chassis. I still need a cut on the one side, though, the inner fender, though, to make it fit right. Dude, so big. But it'll be cool. And it'll be nice having a travel all that's got yeah, unless I undo that shock, it's not going to sit right. It's going to be nice having a travel all on coilovers, actually. So yeah, I don't know how good it looks like it's blowing it out, but and until I cut this other shock out, I can't really get this down on it. But huge. These are massive. So heavy, dude. Yeah, I pulled the inner fenders and the bumpers off of that so I could see what I'm doing. But yeah, this is the inspiration, though, for that one right here. I have not tried to make my own leaf springs. I wouldn't know where to start, but I've thought about making my own chassis rails that you could put whatever company's axles you want on. Oh, there's guys making leaf springs. There's one guy called Twisted Fab RC on Facebook. He's selling leaf spring kits for like $250 or something. That's just the leaf springs, man. And like the mounts, depending on like kind of what chassis you're using. So there's guys that are doing it for sure. You've been experimenting with flashing. I want to do some of that. I thought about trying to do a panel or two on that big dog to cover, like if I could just do a section, it'd be cool even if you rubbed up against some rocks because you get some dents in it and scratches, you know. I used pop cans to do the floor in this interior. So very much like flashing, but soda can instead. But yeah, this is the inspiration for the yeah, you don't want to run out of battery. I'm telling you, bring a rope and bring tools to undo the drive shaft. Because if you got to pull it, you want those wheels to roll free. You could almost take off the wheels and get rid of the hexes and put the wheels back on and have it roll. But I'd rather undo the drive shaft, I think. You know, take the drive shaft off and tow it out. Because you do not want to carry an SEX6 out of the woods. I promise you. But yeah, I'm trying to think about something. I feel like I need some old school lettering or signage on the panel part of this truck. But I dig this a lot. And I will totally print off the bumpers that come with the files like this has for the 6. Yes, I will. This will crawl fine. I already know the back end, as far as departure angle goes, this thing is screwed because of how much is hanging off the back here. But you know what? It's gonna be fine because this is a leaf spring job, and I got the chassis tucked up in there nice. It's as good as I can get it. It's the ride height I want. It's not obnoxious. I think that's too much. And as far as obnoxious goes, that's what the 6 scale one is for. So I have some extra big 6 scale tires that are already mounted up, the plastic stock bead locks. So I may go, you know, white so I can rust up the rims on the 6. The bronze ones, just, I'm not sure they're going to look right unless I make the big one green somehow. I think then the bronze rims will look fairly appropriate. Speed shop. But yeah, flashing for leaf springs, huh? I thought about, you know what I thought about for leaf springs one time? I thought about like an old rake. The tines of an old rake I thought might be kind of all right. Or for leaves, but the softer the leaves are, the more of them you need, and also the more you create the need for an anti-wrap bar and linkage, which is doable. But the leaves that I'm using, these FMS ones, I take all the leaves out except the big one and the little one, and they're stiff enough that I don't really have to worry about that anti-wrap stuff. So guys, 2 hours. Thanks so much. We're down to 9 of the best dudes in the world. Thanks for coming by, and we will see you on the next one. I don't know if it'll be Sunday or not, to be honest with you. But I figure Thursday we could talk about anything we want to. So we'll see. We'll see. But good night, you guys. See you later. It's been real. Try to get some footage on Saturday if I can make it. It's an early deal. Not generally my forte early on the weekend, but Rat Finks in the house. Still rats, even though it's trucks, for sure, man. What do I call this show? My RC Tiny Truck Fab Garage Show episode live. Put that on a t-shirt and smoke it. Know what I mean? Craig says, catch you Sunday. I don't know, man. I feel bad. I don't have much to talk about on Sunday. I feel bad. And I got guys telling me about it in the comments. So, I don't know, man. We're out here. We'll see you. Appreciate it, you guys. We're out here in 5. Hanger rats forever. We'll 3 you later. You're too good to be forgotten, you stinking rat finks. We'll see you next time. Bye now. Boom. Bye.